Meeting to order at 6:04 on February 8th, 2021. We have a couple guests tonight. I guess we'll start with Chuck, Environmental Partners for Progress Projects Updates.
Sure. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the invite. Just to let you know, on the Cedar Street well number 1A project replacement, I met with Jeff. We've asked to install a couple of additional raw water hydrants so we can do the testing along that line and understand a little bit more about the how the raw water system is operating. We also don't have any pump curves for the existing wells, and we're going to run pump tests on those, which is, it's not a big deal. That's standard protocol, and a lot of times water companies don't have the initial pump curves, and some of those pumps have been installed for a while. So as Jeff put it, they're probably not operating at what they were before. So we're going to do pump tests on them and nail down the curves and where they are. Got an update on Frank Sullivan. He has a job out in Auburn, Mass, or something like that, which should take a couple of weeks, but he hasn't gotten confirmation on that, so he may be actually able to go out to Dighton next week to drill the production well. So as soon as I find out about that, which would be sometime this week, I'll let Jeff know and he can convey the information to you guys. But so we're kind of waiting for Frank to become available, but all the drillers are really busy. I was out on the site in Seekonk, and Peter Marr was out there from our corporation, and they got so much work going on too. So it's good to get Frank in next month anyway, or later this month if he has to go to Auburn. So I know that the last meeting I spoke about the risk resilience assessment and the emergency response plan. I just put them on the agenda to talk briefly about it. I would assume that at this meeting that you'll get the final approval with comments if the public comes in, but it's a regulatory compliance that's required by US EPA, and we're doing several of them now. A lot of systems are of your size and all over the country have to do them and complete the risk resilience assessment by the end of the year, fiscal year, which is June 30th, and then jump onto the emergency response plan update, which Jeff had provided me a copy of. So we'll be updating the contact information for, I think that was done back in, I don't know, sometime in the 2000s. And then we'll update the contact information to be current, but also any recommendations that we make in the risk resilience assessment will go into the emergency response plan as well. So, and that's a requirement that you just have to certify both of those documents are completed. But I did see, and I don't know, Jeff, if you got this, but there was a message just came across within the last half hour of a Florida water company that somehow had some cyber security issues that they were announcing on Mass Waterworks Association. So
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it just came across. I'm not surprised you didn't. You'll probably see it tomorrow when you get in the office, but it's unfortunate, but they're happening all over the place. We're working with a community in Massachusetts where one of the finance people was duped into paying $500,000 on through a construction project on a water treatment plant. She thought that she was communicating with somebody who was the contractor, and she was not, and she released payment. And
Wow.
it's really an awful thing. But what we're finding with these risk resilience assessments is it's more than anything, it's just awareness of the water systems to be concerned about potential cybersecurity issues, but also to look at your systems that are in place just to make sure that they have the protection that you need for that work. So, or for the during that project, and it's been helpful, I think, and I think you'll find the same. The next project, and Jeff may have forwarded along the information to you, but the Main Street water main replacement project got approved by Drinking Water SRF, which is great. But also Dighton is designated as a disadvantaged community, so there may be an opportunity for grant funding along with the loans. So that's a bonus. And the way that funding program works is that there's loan forgiveness, which could happen, but also the interest rates are so low right now that funding for those projects, it's at or below 2% right now. So, but the nice thing about Dighton getting that approval is that with the designation of a disadvantaged community, that you'll probably, there'll be more incentives for you financially on that.
What's the disadvantage, Chuck?
I don't think there's any disadvantage. I don't think you're going to get any funding that would be anything comparable to what you're getting unless you.
Oh, all right, okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think it's good that you're on the list. The only thing is that and I didn't ask, but I put together an agenda. Did you guys all receive that agenda?
I did not.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's my bad. I should have got it along sooner, but I can forward it along to you guys. But it basically just gives dates. But I also had the drinking water intended use plan, which is what Mass DEP puts out. It basically gives you targeted deadlines of when you have to do certain steps in order to be have the funding available to you. And what will end up happening is that before the end of this fiscal year, you'll just have to appropriate the local funding for that. And I haven't been in this program for a couple of years, so I'm going to have to check in to see exactly what that means as far as what your portion of that is, and I can coordinate that with Mass DEP and find out exactly what that is. But by June 30th, the district's going to have to appropriate the local funding for that project to move forward. And basically it's kind of fast tracked where the design and the application for the low interest loans or grant funding has to be completed by October 15th of 2021. And then the project would be put out to bid and awarded to the contractor before June 30th, 2022. And basically what happens is it's they handle payments to the contractor for the project, and with the favorable loans that you would pay it off over an extended period of time. And we can pull together all that information for you within the next couple of months just to get that to you. But I think it's a favorable option for moving forward with the project. But obviously we have to do some work to determine how it's going to be financed and how the district's going to go about doing that.
Okay.
And then what I did on the intended use plan, I read through it and I highlighted different sections that, just so that you guys don't have to read through the whole thing because it's rather extensive, but it kind of highlights the deadlines and what's necessary that the district has to do. And not that it's really pressing right now. Obviously, we're only in the beginning of February, and you really don't have to do anything other than appropriate the funds until the end of the fiscal year. As far as the design and submission of the application, we could start at the beginning of the next fiscal year and get that done by October 15th, and it wouldn't be too much of an issue.
So that'll be done. You could do that on time.
What's that?
That could get done on time.
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem at all. If we get the survey going the beginning of the fiscal year in July and move forward with that, it shouldn't be a problem. And then just submit it to them. And I've worked on like large treatment plant projects where we're supposed to have the drawings done, and we end up getting them to DEP towards the end of the year. It's kind of a fuzzy deadline, to be honest. But with the water main project, that's pretty straightforward. It's not as extensive a design as obviously a treatment plant. The last project I worked on was with my past employer, and it was a big water treatment plant job with extensive electrical work, and we were nowhere near completed by June 5th or October 15th because of schedule delays on the client's part, but we got it done by the end of the year and it was fine. So they're flexible on that, but the water main project in Main Street shouldn't be a problem at all.
Alrighty.
And then I just wanted to touch briefly on the and I know that the district's lawyer was involved, but Woodard and Curran is doing that regional interconnectivity study, and Jeff and I helped to coordinate getting them the hydraulic model. And I just wanted to explain that Woodard and Curran had asked us for it directly, and whenever that happens, just because of potential liability issues on our part, you know, obviously your documents are yours and we can provide them for you at any time. Our contract is pretty definite. You know, anything that we prepare for you is yours. So basically what we did, I think Woodard and Curran was concerned about signing off on our disclaimer form. So we just basically provided the model to Jeff, and where it's your document and it, you're allowed to give it to whoever you want. He forwarded it along to Woodard and Curran to complete that work. Did you get that along to them, Jeff, or was there any issues with that?
Yeah, they were just concerned about the size because everyone else's was, you know, 6-10 megabytes. And is it a file within a file?
Well, basically, well, I don't know. I can follow up with Scott tomorrow to see if he had any issues with it. But your system is really small. Basically, what the file was just a data file. If they don't have something that they need to run it, we do, obviously, because we ran it for, and we can coordinate that through you. But your system is small. I mean, they were looking at the Fall River documents or something. I don't know. But if they're having any issues on it, I can coordinate with you on that.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, Derek, I know that you were talking about wanting to know the cost to actually purchase the software and all. And so other water systems have asked for that as well, but the cost to purchase that software on an annual basis is something like $4,000 to $7,000, and that's an annual cost. And the way that we've handled it in the past is that EP has run the model for the water systems where you might have a development that comes in once or twice a year. We can do that for $1,500 to $2,000. So I don't know, that doesn't even include training of anybody at the district. So you're going to run yourself, you know, more money, 5 to 10 grand to purchase the software and get the training. And you may only use it twice a year to look at development. So, I mean, that's totally up to you if you want to purchase it, but just wanted to make you aware of the costs and potential training costs. So, and how that would come about.
Just so we know, I mean, that's the biggest thing is I wanted to know what it was.
Yeah, no problem. And I appreciate that. And I did a little research, talked to people in house, and reached out to a sales rep there and got the information. I thought it was something around there, but I didn't know for sure. So I wanted to confirm before I let you guys know.
All right. So it's around 4,000, 4 to 7 grand.
Yeah, that's what the software purchase would be. And then that doesn't include any training of the staff that would be working on it as well.
All right. All right, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. And, you know I went through things quickly, and I apologize that I'll forward along the agenda after I get off the meeting, and you guys can call me if you have any questions, or if you have any questions right now of anything that I presented, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
So what can I'm going back to the water main. What can we do now? So we're not waiting until July to start to get the ball rolling. I want to be a little bit proactive on this and get whatever we can get done now.
Sure.
We have to go to the town first, the district, to get it approved too.
Yeah, and what I can do for you, Jason, that's a good question. And Tina, I appreciate you saying that. I don't know the logistics and the protocol of what you have to go through internally, but we can start right away, and I can start scoping and budgeting the project on the design side. And as you know, we budgeted that, or we provided you with a budget for that. I think it was probably a year and a half ago now. So, and I know that was a conservative cost estimate as well, but we can look into that a little bit more and pushing that forward, at least pulling together our scope and fee and having a task order ready for, and then you can act on it as soon as you want. It's just that you have to appropriate the funds by the end of the fiscal year.
Okay.
And by next meeting, I can have something for you on a proposal for what the design services would be for that.
Chuck, I had one question.
Sure.
Just kind of going back to the RRA.
Yep.
We've kind of been talking a little bit about upgrading our website for the water district itself. So in terms of like timing for doing that, is that going to be something that's, going to cost us another fee down the road to look into, to have you analyze that risk or for the website, or is that something that's, I guess going to be kind of included in that? I'm looking at the timing, if that RRA needs to be done before, I believe, the 30th of June,
Yes, that's correct.
then should we try to get that website kind of moved forward before then, or is it okay to do it after that?
No, that's fine to do it after that. It's just, I think that what you want to do is any interaction with the public on the website, that you make sure that your IT professionals have provided the necessary, safeguards against potential tampering from outside. And honestly, the RRA is going to look at more, and I don't even think that you go out on the web with your SCADA information, but we'll look at that, and we'll also look at your billing and accounting software to and we'll communicate with Tina as far as who is providing those services, and just, we'll have a pretty extensive RFI that, we can help to coordinate answers from any of the outside vendors, just to make sure that they're, taking into account any potential risks that you might have and any securities against the potential cyber attacks. So, and we'll take the lead on all of that stuff.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're not gonna, have to spend money further down the road if we do decide to do the
Yeah, and I obviously I don't know what you're going to be doing for your website and updating it, but it's usually that's if your users are coming through from the outside, it's normally for billing, but not necessarily the website. But I think that once you go through that and have a vendor that's going to provide you with services on your website, that it's just asking the questions to make sure that you have the proper securities more than anything.
Okay.
And we can provide those questions for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yep. Thank you.
Good question.
I'm all set. Should be good, I guess.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, and I can follow up next month with another update and work with Jessalyn pushing the projects forward and get a design fee for the Main Street job.
Okay.
Thank you, Chuck.
All right, thanks, Sean.
Have a good night.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
What's the Evan Watson, Tina?
I think that may be Lee's coworker,
Oh, okay.
possibly.
Oh, there we go.
On mute, can't hear you.
Yeah, here.
Evan, can't hear you.
No.
There you go.
That works. Yeah, Evan with W Engineering. Yeah, I'm with Lee Casagnetti of Long Built Homes. He's at another hearing, so I think he was asking to be scheduled at 6:30, unless we're the only ones left. But
Yeah, you're
Oh, that's fine. We can do it now. That's fine.
Do you want to go through the rest of the agenda and then at the end? Or do you want to?
yeah, if that makes sense, if that's okay with you guys, then that would give Lee an opportunity to hop on the call.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we approve the minutes of the prior meetings. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the January 12th monthly meeting
so moved.
and executive session on January 12th?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The reading of the correspondence. Does anyone have any correspondence?
I do not.
Nope.
Okay. The financial conditions, the operating budget to the actual balances. The income for the first 7 months of the fiscal year is $1,255,305.86. with the expenses at 1,500,045,586.36, which is 47.6% of our budgeted expenses. The receivables as of January 31st, the outstanding receivables are $253,349.88. The month's commitments are $295,771.97. And the water receivables for the month were $111,197.52. Is there a motion to accept the financial reports as presented?
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Is there a motion to approve the expenditure warrants as presented?
So moved.
second,
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
The ayes have it. Superintendent's report.
All right. So we've been doing some work on the well exploration tomorrow. They'll be on site. They plan on being on site unless it's inaccessible, which I don't think it is. They're going to be clearing some low brush on their own. This is for the seismic part of the engineering work to find out the best spot. They'll be there tomorrow. They'll be maybe there 3 days this week.
What time are they gonna be there tomorrow?
He didn't say. I'm assuming early morning. They asked me if they could. I was going to ask you if they could go in towards the Massasoit roadside, because it seems to be the most accessible point, kind of where at the cul-de-sac.
On Massasoit, so it depends on what they need to get back there, because there's not a big clearing back there.
You know the road going in.
Yeah.
No equipment. No equipment. Foot traffic.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
They can
Maybe
park
hand
around
tools.
right there. Yeah, if they
Hand
want to park.
tools and foot traffic.
Yeah, that's fine. Foot traffic's
So
fine.
kind of just a heads up, there might be a couple cars in the cul-de-sac tomorrow.
That's fine.
All right, I'll let them know.
If anyone gives you a hard time, just let me know. I don't think-
Can Tina call the Dighton PD? Just let them know too.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd like to go back. Who's the guy? Just out of curiosity, because I'm working from home tomorrow. I'll probably sneak back there and
Yep.
hit him up. But what? Who's the lead guy's name? What is his name?
I gotta look at my phone, which is my. Let me. Before the end of this, I'll let you know.
Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head. And then Robert's Filters in. They started today. It seems like it's going really quick this time. They're sucking out the media. They'll be done by the morning tomorrow. Just taking the media out, and then they can kind of go gangbusters. So the schedule is looking really good.
Okay.
Welder's a little behind, but he should be all right. He's a little behind because of weather, he said, but I anticipate him in this week. Frank Sullivan, like Chuck was saying, he's going to be in Dighton for a little while because the Cedar 3 going south on us a little bit. He's going to be in for that. He's going to be in for the Cedar 1 well, and then he is also doing the test wells for us. So he's going to be busy with Dighton very soon, all month. What else? Chuck covered the ERP. We're going to be taking some PFAS samples coming up. That's just that new emerging compound, the man-made compound that everyone is getting excited about, and we need to. We're mandated to take that sample by October. So we're gonna take that sample. It's our finished water, so that's kind of a big one. As far as the website goes, Tina and I, we think it'd be a good idea to have them give you guys a demo maybe next month.
Okay.
Just to kind of, it's pretty powerful, his website, but I forget what the cost was. Tina knows a little better.
It was like 7.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There's like 7 to get it done and then 2 per year.
There you go.
22, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, but it's pretty damn impressive. The website's awesome. As far as Main Street goes, we do have a plan in place as of right now. Woodard and Kern is going to be taking care of that. Chuck saw it online, and he's just going with it, but I got to tell him that they're not doing it. Woodard and Kern, I talked to him today about it. He's going to have all the timelines for me very soon. He has them already, but he's kind of, he thinks we should get the engineering done pretty soon. So I will have more information for you next meeting. That's about it. Oh, one more thing. I'm sorry. The water meters. I did talk to. Eastern Wind Water, and they and Greg, and we were talking about doing a propagation study, which it's kind of a mapping of overview of the town and the elevation, whatever that, how the water meters will could be read by a collector, which is it's a structure that's put in an area that collects all the water meter readings. It gets sent right to our office. The propagation study doesn't cost us anything, so I did tell him to go ahead with that to determine how many collectors that we would need. He guessed maybe 2, and he gave me a rough estimate if we were to read our meters this way, it would cost somewhere around $15,000, and we could have our meter readings by the click of a button on the computer. So I thought that was something we should probably look into, but the propagation study doesn't cost us anything.
How often is it the 15,000?
What's that?
The 15,000, is that a one-time or yearly?
It's a one-time, yeah. I believe the meters may end up costing like $20 more a meter, something like that. If that, it's not significant, but it's to have your water meter readings at the click of a button is pretty powerful, and you can basically see around a counter full of water every day if you want. You can follow it. It's a good tool. Also, final readings, anything else. It is a powerful tool. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
Old business, the Bristol County Aggie, how you making out over there? They're just plugging forward.
Yep. Gilbert Hall's down. It's off now, so things are going ahead.
Looks nice over there.
Yeah. Yep.
T-Mobile antenna renewal. They're still in lawyers' hands, or I don't know what we
got to send them our findings from Matt, what we agreed upon, what we had Matt look it over.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to send it back to them and see how it goes.
And then the water rate study.
That is, where am I with that? Connection study. I mean, it's plugging along. I haven't had to give them anything yet. We were waiting. We were signed up for, the state asked us to sign into, it's called Combis. We did that. So far, so good. I haven't heard anything otherwise. I will talk to him tomorrow. I'll call Toby.
And then that WMA grant, that's the one from Main Street? Oh no. What was that, Jeff?
Which one?
Says the WMA grant.
Is that the grant with the water study?
I don't know. That's gotta be. That's got to be the same one. It's got to be the same one. I'll call Toby tomorrow. I'll get in touch with you guys to give you an update on that.
All right, and then the last time we talked too about old business, how was, you were working on the water loss numbers?
Yeah.
Where are we there as far as this year compared to last year?
That's about the same. I haven't I haven't cracked the numbers totally yet. They just sent out the ASR tool today, which is, they literally sent it out today to, you got to do the ASR, and that's part of it. So I know what our numbers are. I haven't cracked down exactly what I can deduct. And I'm going to be having a class with the DEP, kind of a class, more of on how, on ways to deduct it, and ways to, how they want it done. So I'm going to that class. I think it's next month, but it's actually this month, I believe. So I'll have a better idea on how to take some of that loss and make it work for us.
Is it some of the meters that are off?
No, I don't think so. I did contact a leak detection expert, and so I'm supposed to be getting just in case. I know we've talked about that in the past, so I contacted a company that I know to see what the cost would be to do a leak audit. At this point, we've Greg, me, other people, we've talked about some. We've had all the meters hand calibrated every year. We have it done every year. I actually don't know at this point. I don't know if it's the meters, leaks. I'm kind of baffled. So I want to get to the bottom. I mean, I did see some old stats that didn't exactly jive. So I know this is an ongoing issue. Well, we're gonna get to the
percentage. What's our percentage loss at?
33.
What should it be at?
The ideal for the state is 10. It's not easily met. So I'd say somewhere between 10 and 20.
So we're not even close.
No.
So
Nope.
I remember bringing this, I don't know, I think I talked about it or brought it up last year, I think, and making it a priority to figure out what we have, where we're losing all this water. I mean, even if we can cut 15%, that's a decent chunk of water that we can cut back on and save our systems a little bit at the end of the day. I think we need to make that a priority to find out exactly what it is. Is it the meters? Do we have leaks somewhere? Whatever it may be, but we got to start the process of elimination and start it pretty quickly.
So I think the first step would be doing a leak audit at this point.
A what?
A leak audit.
Okay.
So they would come out with correlators and kind of assess the town. Check the water mains. They digitally. There's ways to do it. It's tough with plastic. I think they have some technology that can detect off plastic now, but it's not easy. So yeah, this has to get done.
Would it make sense to check the meters first and then go from there and eliminate that, or does it make? I mean, we have an idea where it's coming from. Does anyone?
No. So the newer meters, I don't. They would be hard to check. Because, I mean, we've already changed them. I'm confident as in they're working. The older meters, we have about 400 left or so, give or take. That should be a priority at this point, but it's been so hard with COVID the last year.
So why don't we try something? Why don't we try? We keep, I've been into this for 3 years now, and we're still talking about the same things. Why don't we try 4 or 5 people that they're going to be charged $40 a month or $50 a month every month that they don't have the meters changed. We need to get going on this to finish this project. The DEP is gonna, if you tell the DEP again that we have a 30% loss in our system, they're gonna have a stroke. We said this last year. We said this with Cahal before you. We keep saying the same thing and we're not getting this down at all. This is like, we have to make a change here. So why don't we start with the people, we'll try 5 people, 10 people. I mean, we have 400 meters that we have to change out. I understand the COVID, I understand it's getting better, but we have to stop this. We have to we can't keep talking about this and not getting anywhere with it. Honestly, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but if the customers, and never mind the people that are probably stealing, that are laughing every month, we have to get in these homes and change these meters out. So what are we gonna come up with a plan here? Do you want to charge them $30 a month for every month that they don't send 5 postcards out to 5 people saying, if you don't have your water meter changed in 30 days, it's a $30 charge. And for every month you don't, there's another $30 charge. People will call. How are we gonna get these 400 meters changed?
Well, I think that's actually a decent plan. I think you probably have to make that you have to make a vote on that. But I actually was gonna, in the rate study, propose something on that line.
Do we send letters out, give them like a deadline ahead of time, and then if it's not done by this date, interest rate will start being added?
But it's not, exactly right. Not a $5 charge or $2 charge. It's gonna be a good chunk of money, and that's gonna make them call, rearrange their schedules. If we have to go out on overtime and do it, we have to stop plugging away at these people, these 400 meters.
Okay.
I mean,
We do, and I 1000% agree. And it can't be some rinky-dink $5 charge or whatever it is, like you said. But we got to be careful from the legal perspective with COVID and everything. We would have to honestly run it by Matt. Yeah, couldn't think of his name. Thank you. To see what our
Legal,
what we need to do or what we can't do, right? I agree. I mean, we got to do something to get the meters changed out, and you're going to have people that are going to use the COVID excuse, and we got to find out what our legal rights are at this time before we start threatening them with fines during COVID. But I mean, I agree. I mean, we got to get them done, got to get them changed out, and we just got to do it the right way so we don't get ourselves in trouble. Because people will use that excuse, and they would have every right to go back and do us or whatever they would want to do, right? So we got to make sure we're covered. That's all.
Yeah. The other thing, Jeff. Yeah. So when we're talking about meters, obviously we have meters at the wells. We have meters at the plant. We have lagoon meters.
Yep.
And then we have the residential and commercial meters.
Yes.
Before we spend money on another engineering firm that sucks up tens of thousands of dollars, are you 100% confident, or have we checked out the meters at the wells? I know you said the meters at the plant are calibrated, but
they've all been calibrated. The only meter the only meter that counts as far as calculating your yearly pumping to the customer and what they use is the finished meter, which is the one near the backflow, the fire system, on that wall.
Yep.
That one, only that one. That's our finished water. None of the others count in this. And then the other ones is obviously what the customers used, what they metered.
So from the 1 meter in the plant to the residential meters and commercial meters, we have a 30% loss.
That's the 2, yes. And then obviously the state doesn't allow you to deduct main breaks anymore. You can deduct flushing, whatever we flushed. I have that. They don't like the deduction of leaks anymore. That's why that 10% number is kind of off now. It used to be you could deduct those things. You can't anymore. So 10% is it's a tough number to meet. It's great when you meet it. We should be closer. Don't get me wrong, much closer. It's definitely bothersome. So yeah, as far as that goes, it's those two sets of meters, the people's, what you lost in between, you know, from either theft, inaccurate meters, leaks, flushing, and then whatever you pump to them. That's your unaccounted for.
That's not good.
No.
Has it been going up over the, past couple years? Like, how has it been trending?
Well, it's hard to tell because I did see some, let's say, inaccuracies in some reporting. So I can't,
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't really say how long it's been going. It's been going on for a while, definitely, but there was some games being played.
So I just want to do some quick math. How many millions of gallons a year do we produce? Do you know that off the top of your head?
169, 168, I believe.
So just say 170 million gallons.
Yeah.
And we lose 30. So that's what we make. And we lose 30% of that we don't know where it's going.
I believe it was 168 million out the door, and we metered 126 million, I think. Give or
So
take.
51 million gallons of water that we're not recouping any money on.
Yeah, I believe the number was 43 or 44, but we're splitting hairs. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Do we have any idea? I mean, do we have a cost for that? I mean, what can we put a cost to that 51 million or whatever, say 45 million gallons of water?
Tina, what's the cost? So hold on.
I could figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just throwing stuff out there right now, but it's just it's an issue that we've been talking about that we just got to figure out, and we got to come up with a game plan, step by step, without throwing 25 grand, like Derek said, at an engineering firm to come out and do leak detection. Do we start with? I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. Do we start with meters first and then go from there internally, or what do we do?
Definitely want to get them this done.
All right, here's another one. Can we dig up a couple of the mains and put a meter in, split the town in half, see where it's going?
I think we could do. I'm going to look into. There's another way to do that. There's sensors. There's not. That would be really expensive. There's like. They're not really expensive leak detectors, like say Pleasant Street we're talking about, or something like that. You can put them on gates. We can look at that. I think you'd be better off that way, cost effective wise.
Can we call a couple of the surrounding towns and see what their numbers are like?
Yeah, I can do that.
Just to get an average, just to see if we're out of the ballpark.
Yep.
But I know DEP has come down on us before. I know they don't like that number, but is it realistic? That's the problem. I don't know.
Yeah, I was hoping Bristol Aggie was going to kind of equal that out, make a little difference.
It didn't make any difference.
Not yet, anyway.
Can 400 old house meters realistically account for 51 or 45 million gallons of water?
I don't think so.
Right. So I'm trying to look for the bigger culprits. Obviously the home water meters are important, right?
Yep.
But I mean, let's think outside the box and say, and we cannot, I think it's safe to say that those 400 homes aren't going to account for 40 million gallons of water or whatever it's going to be.
Something's wrong then. There has to be a meter out there that's messed up.
Or I guess my question would be, would we know if we had a major leak or any sort of leak in any of the mains or any of the pipes throughout town? I'm guessing we'd see sinkholes or we'd have whatever. I mean, I don't know.
You'd think if there was a number of service leaks out there that the resident would probably call us because they tend to get worse over time. And then they're complaining about lower water pressure. So are there some service leaks? There always something going on, but a lot, I doubt it. Main breaks?
The thing is, the tanks, Jeff, you said the tanks go down.
I know.
We're not losing tank pressure every night astronomically.
I know. There's something out there, or there's some inaccuracy that could be using like 50 gallons a minute, let's say. Because I forget the math on that, but obviously we're not going to recuperate the 44 million. You're looking at maybe trying to find 20 because we lose water within rates and leaks and other things. So you're looking to really find about, you're going to lose some out there. So you're looking to find about, I'd say 20. Somewhere between 15 and 20.
Well, I guess we'll talk to Matt Keener if you can shoot Matt another email and ask him, tell him that we want to expedite, finish changing the meters and the residentials, and can we, whatever we have to do, have a vote or whatever we have to do to make it so that way we can, and we'll try 5 people at a time. We'll try 2 people at a time. We'll do 2 people a week, 5 people a week. I mean, we can't see that we can't change out 2 to 5 meters a week.
How often do we calibrate our meters at the well?
Every year.
Every year?
Yep.
Okay. Did we do it last year did we do it last because of COVID and everything?
We did it last year, yeah. He's coming in soon. He comes in February, March, somewhere around there. I think March. They were pretty spot on last year. They were very, very close. The number.
All right, new business. The old Williams Estates, the payment plan. What have we got on that, Tina?
I have it, Matt has it right now.
Okay.
He just doesn't want to set a precedence by making a payment plan.
He
has
doesn't
a
want
couple
to.
ideas.
Okay. All right. He'll get back to us?
Yes,
Okay. All right, and
I'll
then,
send it out to you when I get it.
do you wanna wait for the next, that line item 9? Do you want me to do that now before we talk to that other Evan?
I'm sorry?
Do you want me to, so I'll do the next regular board meeting of commissioners will be Monday, March 8th.
Let me look here real quick. March 8th. Let's see.
Yeah, that's good for me.
Yes, I'm okay then. I'm not traveling that week, so
Time?
same time is fine with me.
6.
Yeah, 6 is fine.
Okay, March 8th at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, and then we'll just go back to Long-Built Homes with Evan.
Yes, thanks for giving us the opportunity to talk to you at your meeting here. I don't know how much you guys are aware of what is going on right now, but the Hunters Hill subdivision on the south end of town off of Anderson Drive, I've been sitting there for a while with a portion of the site being developed. So it's 34 of the 140 approved homes have been built. And it's kind of been at a standstill. Long-Built Homes has a P&S on the property to develop and complete the remainder of the project. It's their goal to basically take what has been approved in the past and finish it off and take it over the finish line. The things that we need to do to accomplish that, there's a right now there's a Title V shared system that needs to be upgraded to a groundwater discharge permit style system with a treatment system on it. So we're working with DEP to wrap that up, and a couple other vendors to choose the right technology. We just filed for to re-update our notice of intent filing. And then one thing that Lee wanted to get was some type of will serve letter from the Dighton Water Department, you know, for financing and things of that nature. If I could share my screen, if you guys don't mind me doing that. Oh,
Sure.
looks like I can't do it. Am I able to do that if that's
You should be. I think Tina may have to give you permission to do it.
Yeah.
There's a shared screen, at least on my screen, there's a shared screen at the bottom middle.
Yeah, I click it and it says disabled. So
Tina might have to.
Yeah, I think Tina just ran away for a minute.
I think I might be able to actually bring it up on my screen here. Hold on. Move this over.
Is it going to remain a 55 and over community?
Yes, it will.
Are you
So I
putting
think
it
at
up?
least when I talk, can you guys see my screen there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it will remain a 55 and over. And so this figure here basically show the green area has been completed. The blue area has yet to go. The only difference is we're looking to get rid of the golf course. So Long-Built Homes has gone and modified the special permit to not require the golf course anymore. So you can see here, this tan line or orange line, that's the water infrastructure that's been installed. So it comes off of William Street, which actually loops back over to the other development that Long-Built Homes did years ago. And then it comes through the development. Each one of these blue dots is a hydrant. And so anywhere that the water line was installed, there's actually hydrants as well, all the way through. And then we basically have it terminating at the cul-de-sacs and right here at Anderson Drive. We did have a flow test done. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Could you scroll down a little bit, Evan? Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 dead ends.
Yes. And then there would be 2 more here.
Is there any way we can make loops so there's not so many dead ends? Wow. Jeff, you seeing this?
Yeah, it keeps jumping over. When
If I talk, I think maybe you can see it. If I does that work?
So does it come in on 2 different areas, or the water main just comes in from Wellington, Williams?
it just comes in from Williams. It climbs a pretty good hill.
There we go.
I think you
Comes
can
in
see
from
my
Williams.
screen now.
I mean,
Yep. So right now, it comes in here, goes through this development, and then loops back. And then this property dead ends here. So the only way to loop it back in would to come all the way across Anderson, all the way back up and around to Williams. So
that was always my my greater concern, rather than like the cul-de-sacs, is why was it allowed to climb it? You did nothing, Evan. I'm not blaming you.
I understand.
Why was it allowed to climb up Hunter's Hill from Old Williams and not come back down either Anderson or another way out? Because of the elevation there, I mean, we did do the fire flow test. It passed.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there is typically it's not phenomenal pressure up there, and there's now going to be 106 more homes. It is a concern.
It's just you're talking about the elevation change. So just to speak to that, so we know what we're discussing here. Coming in off of William Street, we're at about elevation 110.
Yeah.
We come through the wetlands, up over the hill. This is probably this is the high spot here at 163.
Yep.
Then we come down the hill, and where they did the testing was at about elevation 145.
Okay.
So there's a 20-foot elevation of that hill that it needs to go over. That would be the worst effect here.
I guess a former employee that works here worked on that line. I guess it's just a lot of to take into account. They did do a lot of little 22s and 45s going up the hill. It is what it is. I don't know why they didn't make them come back out when we're left at home.
So as of right now, you're just looking for a will serve letter, right, Evan? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And I think before we would issue that, we'd have to, Jeff, would we have to do some investigating on that to make sure we still can serve 100 and however many homes it was up there, or what do we have to do?
I think part of the problem is it was approved in 2006?
Yeah, I believe it was 6.
Right. So it still falls under that original permit process?
It was part of our, I forget the number, I think it was 100. Yes, it was part of about 150 homes that were already approved.
There's 140 homes, and then there was a restaurant that was in there, which we're not doing anymore. So right now, our Title V flow is predicted for 22,000 gallons per day with 140 homes.
Is there a way, well, obviously we don't allow irrigation anymore. Is there a way to tie the entire community in off of even the existing homes off of, say, wells for irrigation?
Yeah, so this has a homeowners association with it.
Yep.
So we can mandate that irrigation will not be allowed through the municipal water supply. We can do that.
But is there a way to tie in the existing homes in with that as well?
I don't know. I don't know if we'd be able to go back on those guys.
Okay.
Unless there was something from the town that says we no longer, if that's something that's been mandated to all users, then that can be mandated. If they want to have irrigation, then they'd have to put in a well.
All right.
Say that last part again about a well?
If there's a mandate from the town that all users of the water service can't use irrigation, then they'd have to turn it off, and if they want, they'd have to put in the well.
Right.
But there is no real setbacks because we don't have any septic systems near the homes.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's a septic system in a well where we'd have to have it 100 feet away. It's just a septic.
The houses that are there now, what do they do for septic systems?
Well, everybody, there is a septic system out back. So everybody gets a septic tank with a pump in it, and it pumps all the way back up to the top.
So it's a community system.
It's still a community system, but only size for the 34 homes. We need to, if we exceed that, we need to put on the treatment plant.
Yep, I got you. Yeah, because I was gonna say Swansea's all septic in their houses. All right.
So with this development changing owners, which I presume is what's happening, does the existing permits still stand, or does it have to go back in for new permitting, or what's the scoop there? Do you guys know?
Well, the special permit is still valid.
Okay.
The order of conditions for conservation has run out, so we're reapplying for that. Our MIPA certificates are still valid. We had a conversation with them, and we never received the groundwater discharge permit, so we're going for that. But all the other permits are in place.
Like your building permit is still valid.
That's correct. Yeah, and the Form C subdivision approval is still valid.
And that just on the original date when it started, right? 2006 or whatever year it was, or 2008?
5.
2005?
Yep, 2000.
Okay.
So I guess we have to do, Tina, we have to have a legal document drawn up.
Yeah, I can have Matt write a letter.
Yeah, if it's already all approved, we can't stop it, so.
Yeah.
Not that we want to stop it. Evan.
Not yet.
No, I understand that, but I mean, the paramount concern is that we have adequate water supply and good water quality for the people that are going to buy the homes. So,
Right.
as long as we can
that's
say
a challenge.
that, yeah, if we can achieve that, then that's the goal.
Right.
Evan, Tina put together a schedule of fees that I'd like to get to you guys.
Okay.
All right. I can
Well,
send it to you.
I can email
Service
it
connected
to Lee.
Yes.
They had prepaid some, but there's only 9 houses left on the prepaid, 8 houses left.
Evan, that drawing that you brought up of the water main in pink, can you bring that up one more time?
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Ken, 1 second. This?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one there.
Mhm.
I was just looking at, so can you get Jeff a copy of this for me?
Yes, not a problem.
I understand it's almost at the end of our system as far as in the town of Dighton.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was just looking at, like water flow. Is there any way to try to make this? I don't know. I gotta look at this to see if we can, to try to not have any stagnant spots there.
So I was talking to Lee about that a little bit too, and I don't know if the town of Dighton would be maintaining this, or since this is a private development, that it'd be on the homeowners association. But obviously, we don't want to have stagnant water because we're not going to have good water quality. So we can implement a flushing program through the homeowners association as well. At the terminal ends where there's hydrants. Because we are going to have a maintenance contractor come in to operate and maintain the Title V treatment plant, and every individual's septic tank is going to get pumped through the homeowners association.
Yeah, if you mind giving Jeff a copy of this or Tina, I just wanted to look at this just to see what. It's just
Evan,
this down at the bottom. There's just so many. Too bad we can't like loop it so it's like a continual flow, even if we had to add. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I have a question.
Connect the 3 dead ends right there, is what you're saying, Derek?
right, but can we like come down the street and then go back up so it flows? You know what I mean? So we can keep the water going instead of just having a T. So look at lot 129 and 81. Move your hand up. It's in the green. Yeah, move. Yeah, right. Like just to have it so it's a continual flow instead of just having a T. I don't know. Yeah, see, like lot 29, 129, 81, and 80. Can you come down the street and back up and then go down the street with the same piece of pipe?
Well, these streets that are in green are already there. They're already built.
Oh, that's already there. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I messed that up. Okay. I
No,
got you.
anything that's in the green is already constructed, and so all these homes are still here. And then this road, I believe, is there and paved. If not, it's already cut in and
Yeah.
basically
All
done.
right. Never mind then. All right. They're not complaining now. All right. Well, I mean, even by adding the extra houses, you're going to get more water flow down there anyway. So, okay.
Evan, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Where I'm in the blue, lot 9. Now,
Yes.
Can you move to your left? Move it to all the way to the left. Keep going. Keep going. So, as far as at the end of this cul-de-sac,
Mhm.
is there any feasibility to go back out and then go back up to Old Williams?
Through here. So this in here, this is a significant wetland through here.
Okay.
So there's no access, and then this right here isn't actually William Street. This is a portion of Proprietor's Way.
Yep.
So if you look here, what you're looking at is essentially this spot here. And then to get back out, you would have to cross over other properties to get out there. You wouldn't be able to take the access up there.
Now, can you look to your right? Keep going. Because Hart Street's over here, isn't it? Elm Street.
Hart Street's up here. Is this
You
Hart
guys
Street, I
own-
think?
Do you own land to Hart Street?
No.
All right.
Um,
All right.
so if I back out, you can see the limits of the project here. So this is a new solar farm here. This is the, so it's these Zoom calls kind of eat up my computer's resources here, but there's I think a gas easement through here. And then those might be, that might be that property that was just on the edge of Hart Street there.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing we can do.
Okay. Yeah, we've looked, I actually worked at Prime when this was being developed in 2002. And I know they looked all different ways on trying to connect it. And for whatever reason, they let them go ahead with this.
All right, it is what it is.
Okay.
All right, we'll get Matt on board and go from there, and then when it's all done, we'll have Tina just give it to you and finish it off.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for coming by tonight.
I
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Dave.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And I guess we don't have Priscilla tonight.
Doesn't
So,
look like it.
no. All right. So I guess she'll just have to pay the water bill. All right, is there any public input?
Just out of curiosity, how much was her water bill?
I believe it was 2,200.
Wow.
Over toilet?
Leaky toilet.
For how long?
I've seen that.
Looked like it was like a month. Oh, a few months. I want to say 2 or 3 months, looks like.
And she didn't notice it?
Holy cow.
Wow.
She was new. It started a few months after she moved in.
That's
Yeah, so it started mid-July till November,
That's a
end of
lot.
November. It was a long time. We saw it when we got the reading.
It didn't hurt her septic system, huh?
There's a shared system in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have the same community system.
She had the shared system?
Yeah, it's that they have a shared system in that.
So do they get charged sewer on top of their water bill?
No, it's just a privately shared system. Kind of like what he was talking about.
So they don't have to pay a separate fee to keep it running?
They pay, what do you call it?
Homeowners.
Homeowners fee.
Oh, so we don't get involved at all?
HOA.
No.
All right. Well, it is what it is. All right, we don't have any public input. Is there a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
Second.